Greetings and salutations. It's Skeincocaine here from the future. When I got home and I started editing this video, I realized that there were large amounts of it that were completely blurry and you could barely see us. I've decided to go ahead and post this video anyway, despite that. So you might need to listen instead of watch sometimes. I apologize. Thanks.
And then she doesn't answer the phone when I call her back.
Okay, remember we're looking right there, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, too late, kid.
Too late, kid. It is. Well, you can answer it if she calls.
No, she needs nothing.
Okay.
She's just being.
Okay.
She's just being a 22-year-old.
Okay. Hi.
Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon.
I never know how to start this thing. Hi. I'm Skeincocaine.
I'm Catiegirlknits.
And we're back with another knitting podcast. So if knitting is your thing, if hand-dyed yarn is your thing, then you've made it to the right place.
If it's not,
see
anyway.
you later.
Anyway.
We talk about other things, by the way, besides yarn and knitting.
Many
and
things.
if you're not sure, you can go back and lots of episodes where we talk about other things besides knitting, but that is what we are ultimately obsessed with.
Yes.
Craft-wise. Not our only obsession, but craft-wise. So
yes.
We want to share it with you.
Gotta move my chair around a little bit. Sorry.
Now, we're in Katie's home today. Usually we're in mine, but we're in hers. We are both such amazing housekeepers.
Uh-huh.
I just would rather do anything else but actually clean my house. I want it clean, but clutter, I don't know. It's just everywhere,
well,
and I can't help it.
Clutter, it's just part of life. I don't know. I liked what you said the other day. I read it on a post or something. Marie Kondo, you are not.
No, I am not.
This is one of the reasons why I love you, because Marie Kondo, we are not.
Well, the thing is, what it gets down to for me is that I just don't want to spend so much time in my life cleaning. I just don't want to do it. So I would rather do this or that or the other. Now, obviously, it gets down to a point where it's like I can't avoid it anymore. There's a ring in my toilet. I got to get rid of that. So there are things that I do. I kind of beat it back, like I'll devote 4 hours a week or something and try to beat it back. But then I'm like, oh, yeah. So I hired someone.
Yes.
It's been about 8 years since I've had someone actually helping me clean my house, but
I think that's
as Dave gets older and as Dave is having knee problems and doing less and less and less, I felt the need to hire someone to come in the house, help me organize, help me throw things away.
They're helping you organize?
Yeah, they're like an organizer. Like they work with you to, the sort of keep, donate, throw away pile. Yeah, I found some woman in Blacksburg that's going to do it for me. And she's going to clean too. So we'll see how it goes. She hasn't started yet. She's starting next week.
Well, you might need to put her link down in the show notes, because I bet you every woman in this area is going to.
Well, I don't want her to get too busy. And then I won't be able to. It's like I'm always sort of feel hesitating, like saying, oh, this is the best anything, because then I know that I want people to stay in business, but if something is really good, then I won't be able to access. So anyway, when was the last time I saw you, talk to you?
How long has it been? A month.
It's been a month. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So you can see like the other side of what I'm looking at. So of course, jerry rig,
but not much. Not much.
I figure this is as good as it gets if there's a guest coming over. Like I'll clean for hours and hours when I have a guest coming over, and then when they come over, they come in, I'm like, I am so sorry, I have not been able to clean and my place is trash, so please forgive me. But they don't know that I have been cleaned. This is as good as it gets. Like that's pretty much.
Yeah.
Your house is great. And it has a wonderful smell.
What does it smell like?
Loved. Hold on. Let me film you doing that. Okay, that. Okay.
Yeah, we're having indigo, some kind of indigo herbal tea. It's a beautiful blue color.
Oh my gosh, it's blue.
Yeah. This is my daughter's tea. I asked Gina when she came in what kind of tea she liked. She goes, well, she wasn't sure, so I was like, I know.
Yes, but I love the fact that it's that color.
And it's naturally that color blue. It's Barney and Sons.
I'm wearing a sweater that Catie knit, and I wore it on a previous podcast, and everybody was asking like where it came from, what is it, and it's a knit. It's cocoa knits.
It's a coconut pattern, and it's called Veronica.
Veronica.
Veronica, and it is about. It looks good on everybody. I've had to visibly mend it twice. I don't know if you can see right on her boob right there. I decided to take some of her yarn and do a visible mending just because I could.
Well, I just felt like not wearing gray today.
Really?
And I'm really excited to be drinking blue tea. I'm really fascinated with that.
And it's naturally blue. It's not.
See, now I have Invisaligns in right now.
You have Invisalign?
I'm back to my refinement trays.
What the heck? There they are. Okay.
There they are. I can barely talk, honestly.
Can you take them in and out?
Well, yes, I can, but because they stain easily. So, do you think this will stain my teeth? Hold on. Hold, please.
She's taking
you
out
have
her
to talk.
dentures.
You have to talk.
She's taking out her dentures. I love Gina so much.
I had a hard time. I didn't bring my Tulo.
I told my family because they were kind of a little anxious about Gina coming down. I said,
Why?
I told them, I said, you need to stop. I said, stop right now. Gina is laid back. She's chill. We're friends. She actually likes me for who I am, so she knows it when she walks in the house.
And I'm not judgmental.
No, actually, you're not.
Actually, I am.
Are you though?
Well, I'm becoming more judgmental all the time.
Well, maybe.
I'm starting to become more judgmental over time. Like
But what are you
certain
judging
things.
about?
Okay, all right, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
So I've decided not to get a facelift. I'm so anti-plastic surgery right now. It may be a phase, but I am so anti-facelift. And I don't know when it happened, but I was completely triggered by the
I can imagine.
this plastic surgeon on Instagram who has an active Instagram account, like millions of people are watching it. I guess he's in Orange County somewhere in California, and he did this. He just was discussing how because so many young women are using Ozempic for losing weight, that their faces are sagging, and unfortunately, he has to perform facelifts on 30-year-old women, and that just, I'm like, wake the F up, ladies. Stop it. It's just, it bothers me so much. I can't.
Well, Ozempic is ripping through the teaching community because when some of our, isn't that good?
That is delicious.
I mean, it's a little surprising. You're like, really?
That is and I love the color of it.
And it's natural
love it.
Blue.
I love it.
It's Harney and Sons.
Okay.
Should I holler in the other room and see if Millie will answer me?
You mean to get the canister of it?
Well, just to ask
show
her what name it is.
Well, I'll put a link under the video.
All right, good.
So
Amelia! Just kidding.
okay, so that's where some of my and then of course I've been on an exploration of all sorts of religious stuff. I've been talking about that for a while, and so somehow I started getting served a lot of the prosperity preacher stuff, and I hate those people. And see, that's not very nice of me to say. I'm very judgmental.
But why do you hate them? But there's a reason.
Well,
why.
they have millions and millions of dollars. Like Josh Osteen. Has
Joel Osteen.
Joel, whatever. He has like $100 million or
Just got
something.
his church shot up.
Right, and he didn't let people that needed a place to stay at the church during some kind of flooding or something like that. I don't know. I have a really hard time with these preachers and ministers and everything that have just enormous wealth. It bothers me so much, and I found that I'm just I've just been getting more and more judgy. The same with, Joyce Meyer.
Okay.
And I'm just like, she's talking about women need to, they need to accept themselves and love who they are and, take Jesus into your heart and all of that. And yet she's continuing to butcher her face, facelifts and everything. And I found myself like commenting whenever I would comment before. I would comment and say something like, wake up. you're teaching people to accept who they really are, and yet you have no problem spending, hundreds of thousands of dollars on your face, like cutting it off and putting it back on again.
Sorry, just texting daughter.
Did you get
the daughter who went woof? I'm like, woof. Sorry, I was just telling her it's too late.
That's the
that
kind
I'm
of
busy.
communications that you're having now with her?
Pretty much.
She just responded with woof? That's not...
It's okay. I don't mind. I like it. See?
Anyway, I'm being more critical and more judgmental as time goes on, and I need to cut it out because...
Oh gosh, Gina, I don't know if I agree with you. I mean, at some point, we got to call a spade a spade.
Are we talking about knitting? All right, we are going to
We'll get
circle
there.
back to this, but we
Yeah.
really should show some knitting. Okay, we're already 15 minutes in, 20 minutes. The camera's going to die.
Well, then I'm
and
going to
we have
show you.
redo.
I'll
So
show
we're
you a
gonna
couple things.
So last time, if you haven't watched the last episode, I gave her a couple things, and she's worked on a couple things. So you got a Barbie sock set, right?
Yep.
Okay, what do you got?
Well, I'm designing something for your Barbie sock set. It's going to be, I haven't finished it yet. It's going to be a tote.
Yay,
Where
you're
are you at?
designing.
Well, designing might be, I don't know what the right word is there.
Designing?
Too formal of a word. I'm playing.
Okay.
I'm exploring. I'm
Okay.
experimenting again.
Okay.
Which is amazing.
Yeah,
because,
it's back.
I know we talk about depression a lot. I apologize and all this other stuff, but I'll show you where the design is in a minute. I'm going to create a very fluffy sock that has no, it will not be very, shall we say, practical, because Barbie's not practical.
That's right.
So I've started a toe up, and if you can look at the side where I picked up stitches, you'll see the pattern I'm putting into the side. But by the next time we podcast, I will have the hopefully pretty fantastic, it could be an epic failure, but a pretty fantastic embellishment for the cuff. So it's not going to be a practical sock, but it sure should be a showstopper if you want to wear them in your Birkenstocks or something.
And this is not the color. We are like really blown out today. But this is natural light, so
Yes.
read it and weep. I can't do anything about it.
But
now,
I will tell you what I do love about, I was a little concerned about this Barbie colorway when you gave it to me. I looked at it and I was like, you have got to be kidding me.
why?
Well, I didn't know what it would knit up like. I didn't know if it was going to pool or whatever, but look
Oh.
at the perfect, if you can see right here. I don't know what you call that. Where
Well, it's sort of pooling, but not really.
But what is it when it's
Speckling?
perfect? It's perfectly aligned speckles. Mm-hmm. It's perfect. Look at that blue tea.
I'm just obsessed with the blue tea.
I love it. Isn't it pretty?
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
it's the small things in life.
It is.
I love that blue.
I don't think I've ever seen blue tea before.
Harney and Sons, man, they're the bomb.
Okay.
So that's one of mine.
That's
what
really
do you got
cool.
going on?
Okay, well,
It'll look better next time. Right now, it doesn't look like much, but I'm hoping the embellishment I have planned will be as spectacular as I think it's going to be.
Okay, well, I finished my Corian poncho out
can't
of
wait.
my scraps, my minis.
Oh, I love it so much. And you're not going to wear this.
No way. Now, I haven't tucked my ends in, okay? I haven't tucked them in.
Then I will wear it.
You can borrow it. Absolutely borrow it.
I mean, because I will wear that to school, and every teacher at William Byrd Middle and High School will be like, hello.
Hello.
Where did you get that? How much does it cost? I'll be like, oh, you can't afford it, my darling. No, that's not what I'll say. I'll just tell them where to get the yarn, and, if they want to learn to knit, I'll teach them how to knit.
So I just used my Perfect Palette pastel minis, and then I held it with undyed Surrey, and I knit I really, to be honest with you, did not think that much about the colors. So I'm not super thrilled
How could you not be?
that the fact that it started getting darker, and then I feel like it ends on a warm color.
Are you going to make
And
a
everything
kit
is
out
about
of this?
cool. Yeah, yes. Of course.
Stop.
So I was just trying to follow the pattern, but I actually really enjoyed doing it. I found the project really fun and mindless because, you basically just have 4 stitch markers all the way around, and you're just increasing on either side of those stitch markers, right?
I really love this. I love everything about it.
Okay, well, once I take professional
everything about
pictures,
it.
it's yours.
Okay. I'm in lust.
I have to.
It's this. It's this right there. It's that.
That you like that the best? Okay, this is what Catie color-wise likes the best. Which, yeah, I agree. It's pretty great.
It's that.
It is
it's
really,
like that
really great.
Spring green with that pop of apricot.
Yeah,
or
maybe.
Coral. I don't know what would you call it.
I don't know. I like this lavender that's in there. That lavender right
like
there is
all of
like.
it.
I'm totally into lavender right now. Obsessed
Lavender's a
with
great
it.
color. Well, that lavender and like this color are my thing. Is this Tiffany? Is this
Yeah,
a
this
Tiffany?
is Tiffany. Yeah. Okay, well,
Or
it'll
how
be
about-
yours. The next time we
I'll just knit
podcast,
it.
I'll
Or
give
I'll
it.
just knit it myself.
Well, then I would
whatever.
just give you the yarn for it, and then you could just knit it yourself. Because it would be a really fun.
Or I'll design something maybe. Because I really want to challenge myself to try to not just copy somebody else's work, but take
Do your
something
own
and
spin.
do-
Well, you could do the similar idea, but you also could do
But I wanna
where
do
you're
the-
increasing. It doesn't have to be shaped like this.
I want to do the exact color striping that you have.
Okay.
Like I love it.
I really didn't think that much about it, to be honest with you. I just kind of pulled out of the bag, and then when I got to a certain point, I thought, oh, okay, I'm just gonna.
I'm so sorry.
I'm going to.
Inhaled my tea.
What in the heck? I'm just gonna darken it before it ends because I thought visually that would look better, but I don't think it did. Stephanie looked at it and she didn't really love the way it got darker and then ended, with warmer colors where everything's cooler, Oh, I did get you. I did bring you a scarf. We started dyeing long scarves now.
Thank you.
And so I thought this was really pretty. Now, but there's more than one. You take your pick of which one. So I started dyeing 100% silk scarves. You know that. But
I love those
now we
so
have
much.
these longer ones. And they're so pretty. And
beautiful.
this one looks like, in the spring around here, there's sweet peas everywhere. This reminds me so much of sweet peas, growing out as a weed. It's one of my favorite flowers. So you can take your pick which one you'd rather have.
It's on my head.
That was quick.
Since I've been attending the Russian Orthodox Church, I know it's weird, but I don't think it's weird. I love it. We cover our hair like this, just a little bit.
I love that. Oh, the longer one is so pretty on
Just
you.
a little bit. I mean, like, it's not about not wearing makeup or not looking pretty. It's just, I think traditional Catholics cover their hair, don't they? I think if you're a traditional Catholic. I don't know. I'm not Catholic.
I don't know.
But anyway, I love this so much. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
So I bought you something. As a,
You went to the Knit and Keep yesterday, you
as
said.
I did, as a challenge. Okay, so I was talking and was like, well, what does Gina like? I'm like, black, gray, and white. And she laughed her hyena off. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to buy her something that is in my taste, and I'm going to give her a challenge to see if she can create something like these.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
Oh, no, it's not.
It is? I love color. What are you talking
Look at that
about?
gorgeous thing. It's Malabrigo.
All right, I'm going to get it.
It's called Sea Slug.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Catie. It's Machida or what?
I don't
Heavy
know what it
bulky.
is.
Heavy bulky.
But I love how would you describe the...
It's a vomit of color.
There it is.
I love it.
And it's something so
I
not...
love it.
It's something so not you. Because I could have, like, I looked at everything in the room, and I'm like, I was like, there's nothing that she would really adore. So why don't I get her something that would challenge her a little bit?
So I make a hat
Challenge.
out of it.
Make a hat. Or what I was
It's
thinking.
how many yards?
It's not much.
125 yards.
Would your
Is enough for a hat?
daughter fly catchers? The little Venus fly traps. That was her like flowers for her wedding.
Yeah, that's a
Pitcher
little.
plants and Venus fly traps. And you know what? I was like, you do what you want.
I love this. Thank you, Catie.
Well, I liked it, and
I love it.
I know it's just Malabrigo, but here's the thing: I liked the colorway. I liked that it was red and orange.
Okay.
I liked superwash, and I gotta tell you what, I've been spinning again. Like I'm telling you, depression is lifted, and it's nice to feel creative again. Like I have not felt creative in so long. So that one's called La Eternidad. No, Eternidad, and this one's called
Oasis.
I bought every bit of the Oasis she had. I bought all of it so that nobody else
I
can
don't
have
spin,
it.
so.
Well,
But, oh, look how pretty. Let's look at that.
this might become one of these now that I'm thinking about it. A hand spun.
So
one of
you have
these.
enough of that to make a sweater?
I have a pound, and if I
Okay.
spin it, well, she can also always get me more. So, and if I spin it well, then it won't have a color. You want some more? Here. Some more.
I did. I got some.
So anyway,
I love it.
but that's really all I have of that. But I have other stuff to show you because, again, I've been designing, and you had given me some of your, I forgot what what are you calling this?
So as soon as I posted that we were going to do speckling on a yarn that was the same base as Big Birdie from Lamb and Kid, because they didn't have any speckling, they started speckling. Which is what they should do, because that's what they didn't have. I think they call it cake pop or something. I mean, obviously, if they see that they need to do something, because we sold
good business.
hundreds and hundreds of skeins after that. So obviously,
Is
it
this
was
the-
something that needed to
Is
be
this
in
the
their
only
repertoire.
colorway that you have of in this in your Surrey, the speckling?
Right
color?
at the moment, because I didn't want to kind of step on any's toes, you know.
Okay,
what I
I
mean?
understand.
But now I don't care.
Well, so I've been designing a cow.
I'm gonna
for
do what I
you.
want.
I've been designing a cow. I tried it in. I can't find. I did it.
You're designing you're designing a Skeincocaine pattern.
Well, you don't have to
I
call
mean,
it Skeincocaine.
No, but I mean it's for our
it's
yarn.
for your yarn.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to do it in crochet, and I experimented, and I cannot find the. I lost it. Oh well.
What are you looking for?
Somewhere in this house, I have an actual half crocheted cowl of that. By the way, this yarn, there's a lot of yarn in this skein.
I'd say.
So that looks like every other cowl you've ever seen in your entire life. The only thing that's different is that I put in a stitch to give it, I'm hoping it'll give it a little bit of structure so that it won't just sink around your neck. Even though sinking around your neck's not a bad thing.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I'm hoping it will have a little bit of some strength, not strength isn't the right word.
Stability to
just
hold
a
it
little
up.
bit of body.
Okay, what you could do is you could knit it with something else that
Like
has
what?
more structure, like an undyed cashmere or something like that. Like something else that maybe in cream or something that makes the colors pop out, but actually adds stability. Because this is a pretty floppy.
It's very floppy, but it's so
It's super soft, but
It's
also
so
you know what you could do is you just maybe make it tighter. Like
I-
you do it on a firmer needle,
I
but
played with it on, like, I have, that skein you gave me, I have destroyed. I am so sad. I have crocheted it, ripped it out. I've crocheted it, then couldn't rip it out anymore. And then I started knitting with it, and I liked the watercolor effect better of the knitting. And I'd already knit with your skein too many times, and I had ruined it. So I need to buy some more of that off of you.
you're not buying anything.
But if you have
if
you have a cashmere, if you can think of something, and I will tighten it up.
an undyed something to
Yes.
knit with it. Okay.
What
Let
you
me
think,
the next
what you think will make this, because honestly, that is
think
gorgeous.
it is gorgeous, but I think adding a cream to it would make it would still be just as gorgeous, but you're going to see more of also the texture. I can see bubbles in there, and you can't really see bubbles from, like, I doubt you can see the bubbles that I'm talking about.
The bubbles I chose for stability. But I think if we can get it so that there's texture in it, that
you can see more
it,
of the texture.
But I want it to highlight this. I want it to highlight this because this is spectacular.
Yes, it is.
My only
This would be beautiful. Get like craft paper and wrap presents in it and tie bows out of this around the.
Are you getting hot?
Well, I'm having a hot
Sorry.
flash.
And we have.
They're back. The hot flashes are back. They went
That's-
away. They came back.
That wood stove over there is on.
It's me. It's gonna go away. As soon as
open
I'm
the door.
drenched in sweat, then I will freeze to death. Ladies, you hear me?
I wake up in the middle of the night and my hair is soaked through. Is that normal?
You're
that's
dying.
it?
Yes,
That's it.
That we're getting old. Yes.
My clothes are soaked through
Yes.
and my hair is wet. Maybe not like
Yes.
to the ends, but like I can put my hands in my hair. I'm like,
What I've noticed, like I'm laying in bed and I'm starting to flash. I'm like really hot. I've started to like feel a little bit about where am I feeling all over hot, or am I feeling just like so I'll feel like I'm burning hot right at my hairline, but not lower than my hairline. So not like my whole forehead, just right at the hairline, and right at my lower back is super hot.
interesting.
Like there's a lot going on in there. Probably the tumors have taken over my uterus and they're just like, ah, like a tug of war. Like my black ovaries are pulling from each side, like ah. But I feel there's certain areas that there's a lot going on, and I don't know what is going on. But well, I had, you all knew I was starting Wellbutrin.
Yeah, I wanted to know how that was going. Sorry. Gina's my entertainment.
It didn't go well.
Oh, dear me. What happened?
Well, I think I had a seizure.
Okay. More details, please. And?
Nope, that was it. All right, well, you guys, thanks for joining us
No,
today,
we're
and
not
we
done.
will see you another time.
No,
I had a day.
over
I
here.
woke up in the middle of the night. Well, should we just show more knitting first, and then we'll get to like life stuff at the end?
Well,
Because
I
I don't. Yeah, let me see.
There's a theme going on here. If you look, everything's blue, and I did not intend for that to happen.
Show that.
Well, yeah, I've been working on this. This is a beast. I'm telling you. Andrea Mowry, if you're watching this, I adore this pattern with everything I got. But this is a long knit. I'm just telling you. I actually have, I've gotten down to separating the sleeves from the body.
Well, what is it? Fingering on
It's fingering, it's birch. The sweater
on
birch. On
what
size
needle
2.
Yeah, see.
I think in retrospect,
See?
if I had to do it over again, I'd put them on a size 1. But some of us didn't swatch like a dummy.
Whispering does not get picked up on the camera, so you can whisper all you want, but they ain't gonna hear it.
I should have swatched.
We should all swatch, but we don't.
And so I'm doing 3 of your Wedgwoods helix knitting because
3 Wedgwood.
I got 3
helix
going
knitting.
helix
Okay.
because I'm like I love this sweater so much. I just don't want to have a big pool, and I want it to be perfect. And I think I'm just gonna do sleeves to here,
I think that's wise.
and it's gonna climb down to my knees. I'm pretty sure, so I'll be able to wear it with them.
Yeah, you do like those long sweaters.
Well, it covers the junk in the front and the trunk.
So I have another you want to do a similar sweater? You remember that blue? Gray. Last time we had gray, and she said, or I said, should we add more speckles? She said, yes, we're going to add more speckles. So we added more speckles, and so this is the colorway that we came up with. This is called Tuscany. That is Tuscany.
Ah, so pretty.
And it's so blown out, so you're not really seeing how beautiful it is.
And I will
but
describe it. I can't wait.
I will let you describe it. But I got you 3 skeins. What can you do with that? Do you need more than that to do a sweater?
If I'm gonna do a short sleeve, which I think I'm starting to move on to short sleeves now, then I think 3 is enough.
Okay. If you need another one, you let me
always-
know. I can pop it in the mail. We're 45 minutes away from each other, but I can send something to her in a day or something.
Thank you for doing more speckles.
So we just added a bunch more speckles, but see, it's a gray base.
I love it.
I'll have to video here.
There is this really pretty like violet right there. The violet and then she has that Tiffany. Actually, it's more of a seafoam. Look at it. And of course the neon.
Yeah, there's neon there.
I am.
For sure.
Oh yes, there it is. There it is. I have a weakness for neon. And the violet is a neon violet, I would estimate.
They're pretty much all neon flavors.
I love it. But it's not that neon that you look at you and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, it's the 1980s again. No. It's very, subtle's not the right word, but it blends, it works. Maybe that's the right word. I love that right there. That right there was what I wanted you to think about knitting something with. I love those oranges.
Isn't that similar to this?
That's what I'm saying. So you and I were on the same wavelength this week.
Love it.
I would like to podcast more. I don't know if we can. That might be more than we can possibly handle because we do have lives.
Yeah, I mean, I would be willing to podcast more. I just feel like I don't know if I'd have enough knitting, enough.
I don't know if I'm interesting enough.
You're interesting enough. Are you saying we're less interesting than some other podcasters? I think not.
I hope so. I hope we're more interesting. But remember, I don't watch podcasts.
Oh yeah, that's right. I need some lipstick. I just realized I look really pale right now.
You do not look pale.
Well, it's because of the. It's just because it's so bright in here. And what's so weird is it's so dark in your house. Not so dark, but it is dark.
Well, the walls are brown.
Yeah, the walls are brown. It's dark. Brown paneling. But at the same time, we're filming and it's so light.
What are you calling this again?
Tuscany.
I love it.
Thank you. Okay.
Oh, look at that pretty green right there.
And I have a bunch of it dyed, all the same batch. So if you want more skeins, you just let me know. Like if you want 2 more, just let me know. I'll pop them in the mail if that's what you want. Okay?
Let's go ahead and do 2 skeins.
2 more skeins.
I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, because I think you had 5 for that one. I couldn't remember how many you had taken for that one.
But what happens is if I'm actually designing, then during the playing process, because I'm going off inspiration of your color, like that's where the inspiration's coming from, I ruin it. Because after you rip it out 4 times. Like,
Okay.
Because you have to play with it.
Do you want more tea?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I think my little tea friend in the other, you finish it. I think my little tea friend in the other room might have gone to the library. And I'm sorry, I feel like I'm wiping my nose a lot, and I apologize. I'm not sick. The pollen has arrived.
Well, I don't know if you guys noticed, I'm desperately trying not to touch my face or my hair.
I'm not even bothering. I'm like,
I am so fidgety on camera, and I really have to be more cognizant of that because I know that it drives people insane. I'm aware of that. Drives me insane.
Do people make comments?
No.
Because I'm just going to scratch my nose right now.
I mean, there's a lot of itchiness because the wool is around us and the alpaca and stuff. So that I do find myself touching my face or itching my ear or whatever. But a lot of it is just nervous energy. So I just want to try to be cognizant of the fact that I'm doing annoying things.
Is this your planned pulling?
This is Bowie 25. So this was the 5th day of the Bowie Advent. So this is what it was.
Look how beautiful that knits up. Because I'm still thinking about what to do with that too. I'm thinking of.
So I'd already gave you some of that.
Yeah, I have a plan. It's just I have to think about it some more. I really need school to get out so that I can use my brain for something other than educating children. You know, because that's all I do. I get up at like 5:30 in the morning. I go to work. I wear myself out. I come home. I make dinner. I talk to my family. And then at 8:30, I pass out. No, 8 o'clock. Excuse me. It's not 8:30. I don't even make it to 8. I pass out.
So this is the sock.
I love the way...
It's a micro striping.
How did you figure out how to do that? Is it Stephanie? Saint Stephanie?
Saint Stephanie. Well, we strategized it together. But see, I have 2. See, there's 2 here. And since we're basically speckling the colors on the area that we didn't dye. So you like leave part of the skein, like 1/3 of the skein undyed, and then to dye the rest of it black, leaving part of it undyed. And then what happens is then you let that dry, and then the next day you come back in and speckle it.
Can I put it on my foot?
And sometimes you speckle, sometimes there's more green than others. Sometimes there's other colors. Sometimes it's not, like this one I feel like has a lot of green in it. A lot more green, and some of them have a lot more purple and a lot more just other colors besides that. And so every skein is kind of different. So
Can I tell you what I'm thinking about doing? Isn't that pretty?
what are you thinking about doing?
I think I'm gonna buy a sock machine.
They can't hear you.
I'm gonna buy a sock machine. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I'm gonna save up my money, and I'm not talking about the little one that I can get off of Amazon.
You're talking about the Echo Buck or whatever it is.
Yeah. I'm not kidding. Because here's the thing. I love hand knit socks. Of course, it wouldn't be hand knit anymore.
Well, what you would do is you would hand knit maybe the toe and the heel and the cuff.
Yep.
You would make a tube.
Yep.
And then you would do those 3 things. And so you're still knitting. And just imagine that you could crank out tubes. There's actually, if you ever wanted to be, like, go into business, you can go into business with those sock machines, as in shops will hire you to set up in their store. So that person will walk in, they take that skein of hand-dyed sock yarn that they love, and they hand it to the person that's set up on that Saturday to crank sock tubes.
Yep.
You pay the person for
There
the
it
sock
is.
tube, you buy the yarn.
There it is. That's what I'm talking about. Let's just see how much this sucker costs.
It's about, I would say it's about 2,000 something.
Yeah, I'm gonna save my money.
You should.
I'm not kidding.
Well, if you're going to have one, then I don't need to have one.
No, you don't need to have one.
Because I can just pay you to crank my...
So the question, you don't have to pay me for anything. Okay, so here's the question. Like, that is really complicated. Now, I'll let you, I don't know how you want to show that. I'm a little concerned, but here's the thing. I also have basically 2 men who live in my house who love machines. They love all machines. It does not matter if it has a motor in it or if it's made of
I think
wood.
you'll be fine. You'll have a maintenance person living in your house with that.
Look
Will
at
be
basic
fascinated.
machine plus package, $2,500.
Yeah.
Deluxe, $2,600. Super deluxe, $2,800. Now the question is, $3,290.
What?
And if but here's the question: how am I
love
going to
the
know?
yellow. I want a red one.
You want a red one?
Or yellow. Red or yellow.
Look at that. Show them that one. That's cute. I love hand knit socks. I love them.
They are so wonderful. And you
don't-
can never have too many of them.
No.
Because,
No.
I mean, I make some for Marcella. She wears them in her boots. We just rotate like 4 pairs in her boots. And she will, huge holes.
Are you
I don't
doing?
know how to mend
Are you
them or whatever.
doing fingering weight, or are you
Fingering.
You are doing fingering.
And I have done some DK too, but I don't like wearing DK socks. I'm now 100% sure. I've been wearing some. I can feel the stitches on the bottom of my feet. I do not care for that. So we're back to size 0s and 1s for socks.
So I'm gonna do my research
On fingering weight.
on fingering weight, and I'm gonna figure out
You need like the right size, like
I'm
the
gonna-
circumference, like
Yep.
58, 54, 58, and then you need a 1 like 74 for your husband and son
Yep.
and the big feet in your life.
Yep, and that's what I'm gonna
So you
do.
need 2 separate canisters.
Yes, that is my plan. I am going to do this. Like, this will happen.
I'm very excited for you.
I thought I was going to be a weaver, not a weaver. I thought
Well, you're a spinner.
I am a spinner.
And a knitter, and you
and
can
a
crochet.
knitter, and I can crochet. But I would
and
like.
you'd be dyeing yarn if you drove up to Blacksburg.
I can't dye it. It's.
I'm just saying.
Here's the thing. Like, I like hanging out with you. I don't want to. Like, I want to support your business. I don't want to. And besides that, it's not a hobby for me anymore. And I need, like, teaching is my job. It is my calling.
Oh, I killed the love of the yarn as a hobby. It's not, knitting is not a hobby for me. And what else? We're making magic cakes still.
Oh.
This one is sold. Otherwise, I would leave this with you. But it's sold.
No.
You wouldn't know what to do with it anyway.
No. Please don't give me a magic cake.
These are
I mean,
DK. This is a DK one.
What
It's
are people-
15 different colors, 500 grams.
What are people doing with them?
You can do everything, shawls, sweaters, anything. You just pull out and just start knitting. They have magic knots in between each colorway. The colors are Skeincocaine colors that we either discontinued or we only had one left of or something like that.
I love it.
And it sold. I mean, I just wanted to show you that we're still doing those. And keep your eye out for them because we always put new ones up. I basically post them on 500 grams.
Oh, I think you said that and I wasn't paying
You
attention.
feel how heavy it is?
Oh, that's lovely. Of course, you know, which of these do you think is my favorite color?
This one on the outside, right?
That and the hot pink.
And hot pink. Oh yeah, and it really stands out. My favorite. What do you think my favorite is?
It's either the lavender or is that one in the middle?
It's the black.
Yep.
The black. The one in the middle is iconic. It's got the white specks.
I was gonna
really
say.
see. There, you can see the white speck right there.
Yep.
What we will do is we will group by color. That's what we're doing today, is we are grouping them by color. I know this seems really messy, but there is a method to our madness. Like here's one that we did, and just ignore the wall behind me here. But this is what we've done so far, and we're making more. So all the yarn has to be caked up first. So you see it's all caked up. Okay. And then so far she has started putting some of the colors on our electric Swift. So the colors, how many colors is this so far?
I think about 15.
This is 15 colors so far. So wind them on the winder like so. This is Grace. She is a Blacksburg High School student that works for me part-time, and she does a lot of the winding and the caking, and she does a lot of putting, there's St. Stephanie. Anyway, Grace does a lot of things like putting the ribbon on the skeins so that Stephanie has something to dip in the pots, etc., etc. So Stephanie is now explaining how she's putting the cake, the magic cake together, how she's connecting each skein together with a magic knot where you actually overlap the ends, tie 2 separate knots on either end, and then you pull those knots together. As you'll see right now, she's tying the second knot. And then she's going to take both sides and she's going to pull it together. And I know that's kind of difficult to see. There are a lot of tutorials on how to make a good magic knot, which I will link below in the show notes so you can make your own. Then she cuts the tails. We leave a little bit more of a tail than some people do. We do that just to make sure that they don't come apart. So we do this over and over again. Then we use the scale to measure out the 20 grams of the sock weight yarn and add it to the major, to the big skein on the Swift. And that's what we do. didn't go to, by the way, because I had been in New York a week before with Ben, and we just spent just insane amount of money, and we saw like 4 Broadway shows.
That's right.
And it was, I could not get back on the plane and go back up there a week later. It was just too much. You know, it's wintertime there. It's just rains all the time. I just could not bring myself to go back up there for Vogue. But I'm sad because I wanted to see people there, of course, but I just couldn't. And Becky was having like a dinner party and everything, but I just couldn't do it.
Dinner party, golly, no, that's stressful.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't have to.
Is it weird that we're eating on camera? It just occurred to me.
There's entire channels of people eating. Mukbang. We would have microphones on and you could hear us crunching. People love it. They love that.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know. My idea was I just wish they could all be here with us.
I just can't eat very well. I'm always doing stuff like, I'm always doing that. People always make fun of me. My left eye too moves up and down when I'm chewing, but not my right eye. So I'm a freak, okay? When I'm eating. Total freak. Anyway, okay. All right, what else I have? Emotional support chicken. I started doing that.
You have an emotional support chicken?
I'm about to, all right, so here is, you know what I'm talking about?
No, but that's beautiful. Whatever.
Oh yeah, that's pretty. It's
Did
just
you
a
see my
bouquet. No, I didn't see your eyes because I wasn't looking in your direction.
Ha 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 ha.
But I'm going to show you. So on screen, you see there's the emotional support chicken. Everybody's knitting this thing. It's the craze. So you too can have an emotional support chicken. However,
I gotta Google this.
I gotta
There's
get
an emotional support chicken.
Yeah, All right, I got everything.
Someone just walked in my house. I'm
Cool.
dying to know who just walked in my house. It's either my husband.
Well, your husband would be done working out by now, right?
Yeah, I guess
Okay.
you're right. But he's got a pretty heavy step. But go ahead.
This is a very intriguing pattern.
Did this come off of Ravelry?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm heading there right as we speak.
Okay, so here's the first panel. You do like these what are they? You know, like feathers.
Oh, I love it.
Feathers. And then I've got the second one going. I'm having a hot flash right now.
I love it.
So now I'm doing the second one. And then you attach them and then you make this whole chicken in one. You attach these two and then I think the rest of it is actually just one whole piece that you fold and stuff. Add safety eyes.
It's crochet.
No, it's not.
Okay, because the one I'm looking at is crochet.
Then it's not the right one.
Okay, I'm going to continue looking.
I'm using this boucle, which I hate boucle. I'm going to tell you right now. I love it when it's done. I do not like knitting it. I hate knitting it. So, but I thought this sort of looked like a chicken, like coloring of a chicken. I don't know.
That Huelco yarn. You know that lady who does the chicken yarns?
I don't know who you're talking about.
I'll find her.
But I'm also using it with black sparkle. I'm holding that together to make this. This looks really lovely.
So how do you know that? Because I really am that far off the radar.
Okay.
I'm not on trend. I'm not very interesting. How do you know everybody is doing emotional support chickens?
Well, just because,
Is it because
it's
of
showing
Reddit?
up on every podcast that I'm watching.
There's a tutorial.
That you can see how many people have bought her pattern on Ravelry. You can see how many people have posted to Ravelry. So I am going to make an emotional support chicken and give it to Marcella, and maybe I'll, once I get it down and understand the pattern completely and do one, then maybe I'll be able to just do more. It's hard to say. I mean, we'll see.
I just bought it.
Hey. Yay!
Sorry.
I love to enable.
Yes.
Okay. I hope I'm not blurry right now. I feel like I hope we're not blurry. I hope we're not blurry. You know what? If we're blurry,
Sorry.
you'll never see this video.
No. Come on.
So how are they going to watch a video that's blurry?
They'll put on 3D glasses that we used to watch.
Put
Jaws
on your
in
3D glasses so you can watch this. All
don't
right,
know.
I will post it, but I'm afraid that it's possible that we're not in
Don't be
focus.
afraid. Fear not.
Okay. All right.
I have faith in you, Gina.
Okay.
More
that's
than
good.
you know.
I'm also, yesterday was the first day of the Dartmoor knit along that I'm doing with Boboleros, Margaret, and Leslie of Leslie Friend. It started yesterday. If you don't have your K-Dree pattern, the Dartmoor caked up and ready to go to join us. There's going to be prizes. I'm going to be loading you guys, whoever wins, like more people. I'm going to be giving a lot of stuff away. Leslie's got a lot of good stuff. But I know Margaret, because her yarn is so beautiful, she's going to be giving stuff away. I'm making the vest version of the Dartmoor. So I'm not putting sleeves on it. And
Did you get that?
yeah, I heard that.
That was my.
And this is an undyed yak. And it is.
Yakety yak.
How beautiful is that?
It's gorgeous.
So that's what we're doing. It's March 1st to May 1st.
Okay, so you have plenty of
So
time.
you have plenty of time. So I hope you will join. There is a Ravelry group. I will link it below. Go and join the group because this is an interesting construction. I think you start with an I-cord across the shoulders, and then you pick up stitches within the I-cord, and you knit the shoulders.
Oh, I love it.
Go down. It's an unusual. So I think joining the Ravelry group will be good because then you'll be able to ask questions, and then people that are knitting it currently, if you feel like you're hung up on what are they really asking, there's going to be people there that will support you and help you there. So hopefully you can join us. It's called Dart Along. That's the hashtag. Dart Along. Okay.
But we all know I'm easily entertained, so it's okay.
I guess that's all I've got. I don't think I have anything else.
There's no snark Reddit or Reddit.
Oh,
snark.
I mean, I'm not done. I'm just done showing yarn.
Oh, okay. She's got a list, so I want to see. Okay, here come the glasses. I love it.
Okay, what am I reading?
Oh.
I'm reading 10 Days in a Madhouse by Nellie Bly. And then I'm also, which is someone that pretended to be crazy in New York City, I think during the 40s or 30s. And she got admitted to a mental hospital and horrifyingly bad things happened. So I'm not very far into it, but it's a short book. Reading that. And then I'm reading The Short History of Nearly Everything by Bill Bryson. And I'm only reading certain parts of it, like I'm reading The Restless Ape right now, because I want to know why we don't have fur. So that's why I went in there to figure out why, if
But we
humans...
do have fur.
Yeah, but not like apes. We supposedly came from apes, so why do we not have fur? If we moved and migrated north, there is no reason why... I think what it gets down to is I don't understand why we have to put clothes on. And I know what Genesis says. Great. I'm not discounting Genesis.
I'm enjoying it.
No,
Keep
I mean,
going.
but what I am concerned is like, why would we have to add clothing? We should be completely the way we should be, when you go out in the world. We shouldn't have to cover ourselves up to protect us from getting bruises and scratches and bug bites. And like, we have to add stuff to us.
You mean be Sasquatch?
Why are we not Sasquatch?
I don't want to be Sasquatch.
Well, you don't. No one does now in modern times. But why did it go away?
Well,
Especially if we migrated as a human
Okay.
species north.
okay, but here's the thing. In my opinion, this is why.
Because of our
The-
brains?
Who knows? Ultimately
Or
it comes down to
Genesis,
that.
whatever, okay.
Or maybe it had something to do with attraction. People who have, females who have less body hair are more attractive.
I think
than
that's a modern time thing. I don't think that's... I don't know. Okay, so that's what I'm reading. What are you reading?
What am I reading? Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, it's just religious stuff. Nobody wants to hear about that. I mean, it's just religious stuff.
You still liking your church?
I love my little church, Little Saint Innocent of Alaska. It's a Russian Orthodox church. It's
Yeah,
really,
you told us about it last
It's really
time.
sweet.
That's wonderful.
It's like sweet. Like I've never encountered anything like it. I've been a Christian for 41 years, and this is different. It's not Catholic. It's not Protestant. It's Orthodox.
Okay.
So it's sweet.
Well,
Are you still going up to Blacksburg Fellowship?
No.
Have you found a place that?
No. I went to North Star last week with Sarah, and I liked it.
What did you like?
Well, the sermon was about sexual immorality, which was not the funnest sermon to listen to. You know, that's not the most fun thing. It's not a super uplifting conversation, but
no, it's not.
But I mean, it's important, obviously, but it's not. You know, it's my first time there, and it was a huge organization and enormous, and it's got a school there, kindergarten through 5th.
Okay.
It has
I know. Yeah.
libraries. When I saw Tim Keller's books there, I was like, okay, I'm on the right track. I love Tim Keller. He's like one of the greatest minds that ever lived. He died last year, but I loved him, and I saw a lot of Tim Keller books. So I thought, okay, this is more in line. And then I got home. They sent me an email.
Yep.
They sent me a letter in the mail with like a free coffee coupon in their cafe.
Did they call you?
They haven't called me yet. I might not have given them my phone number. I don't know.
Every time I've ever visited a new church with my husband, I grab him like this and I'm like, don't you give them any information. Don't even tell them our last name. Nothing. You give no emails? Nothing.
Right, because they will contact you. Well, yeah, because they have a lot riding on that. They want members. Because, I mean, a church like that's so huge, a lot of members. And so they need us to tithe, our 10% of our income, and they need to lock us in.
But there is value in what they're doing.
Absolutely. As long as the pastor doesn't make millions of dollars, I'm perfectly fine with it. Because once we're getting back to that other thing. Extreme wealth in the pulpit, do not like it. One bit.
You know what I found out about my priest?
What?
My priest is not paid.
Yeah,
he supports himself. He's 72.
Yeah, that's great.
And I'm just like, I just sat there and blinked at him. I was like,
that's great. That's the way it should be.
Well, I'm a little worried about him.
Well, I don't think you should worry about him. I think he would reach out if he needed help, don't you think? No?
These Russian Orthodoxes are different. They're a different breed. They're different. I like the amount of respect I have for these people is off the charts. Yeah, that's your special. I need to finish up. I was doing.
Whoops.
Oh, it's okay. It's just on.
Okay, can we talk about Wellbutrin?
Yeah,
we're circling back to the Wellbutrin.
I want to know why you think you had a seizure.
Well, what happened was...
Did you hit the floor?
No, it wasn't that kind of seizure. It was more of a confusion and crying type reaction. The therapist said I had a possible seizure. So what happened was, here's the story. I'll show you some pretty yarn this is the special, but it's on my zebra. If you see there, it's got the zebra pole going through it. Okay, so I'm sitting there and I'm going to bed, and as I'm going to bed, and now I've taken Wellbutrin now for a month now. I've gotten to like 30 days where I took it consistently, and so I am going to bed, and I remember like taking my phone, and I'm like, I'm going to turn it off. And I thought, no, maybe I shouldn't turn it off because Marcella's at a sleepover. Ben lives down the street. What if there's an emergency? I'm like, oh, Dave has his phone. That'll be fine. I'm going to turn my phone off, put it away. So when I wake up in the morning, I turn on my phone and there's like 40 messages. Yes, it's 40. And I thought, oh my God, something's happened. So I turn it on, and it's Becky and Karen discussing the Texas barbecue tour that we're going on in mid-April. And they were going back and forth, renting car, where are we flying into, Austin, flying out of Dallas, what are we doing, who are we seeing, what are we going to do? and they were going back and forth, and I wasn't awake yet. So like they started this at 5 o'clock in the morning. So 6 o'clock in the morning, I turn my phone on, I see this, and I'm like, oh no. And so then I realize what it is. And all of a sudden I feel like my heart racing, because Becky then says, get your flights booked now. Because if you don't do it, I can't book mine. Until you guys make,
your decision.
You do it, and that way I know you're serious about it, and that the trip is going to be planned, and all this work I have done finding barbecue all over the state, you are going to take care of it. Well, I knew I had a credit, one of my credits, because I didn't go to New York for Vogue Game Live, so I had a credit with American Airlines, so I had to use that. But then I had to fly into one city and I had to fly out of a different airline. Long story. I had to talk to Delta also. So I'm talking to these people. I can't find my credit. So I notice I'm starting to cry and literally weep. I'm weeping. And I keep saying to Dave, I can't do this. I can't do this. I'm confused. I can't make the... Crying. The other person on the other, lady, you're going to be fine. We're going to work this out. And I'm like, I'm sorry. And I'm crying and everything. And I get up and I have all these orders to pack up. I have like 40 orders I have to get out that day. So I'm like, oh shoot, I'm not feeling well. I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't stop crying. And I'm confused. I am legitimately confused right now. And I'm crying. Karen messaged me and she says, you sent me your itinerary, but you're flying into Dallas and out of Dallas. And we were flying into Austin and out of Dallas. So I had gotten the whole thing wrong. I messed that up. So I had to get back on the phone. I spent a total of maybe 5 hours on the phone getting these plane tickets reserved, crying the entire time. Finally got it fixed. Started packing up those orders, but I said to myself, there's something wrong with me. I'm like trying to circle the orders where people had ordered more than one skein. Like, okay, this person ordered 3, I'm circling it. So I pack up the orders, crying the entire time. And then Dave goes and takes them to the post office. And then by the end of the day, I'm feeling better, but I called my therapist and she said, everything you're describing to me sounds like you had a seizure. The confusion, the crying, all of that. You had a mild seizure. So I said, I'm weaning off of Wellbutrin. I am not taking, and I'm not completely off of it now. I'm not taking Wellbutrin anymore. But I think I still have some weird sort of residual problems. Anyway, what happened was, it was as the days went by, the emails started rolling in. You sent me 1 skein instead of 3. You sent me this when I ordered that. Oh my gosh, thanks for those 7 skeins. I only ordered 1. I totally effed everything up.
It happens. I'm so sorry.
So that's what I dealt with, and it was terrible. So instead of just blindly popping pills because your psychiatrist says to do it and they met you 20 minutes before, I think there's too much at stake.
No, I was surprised that you had decided to give it a try, but I support you because I know you do your research and such like that.
I didn't do any research.
No, but you do your research on how to take care of yourself.
I try to take really good care of myself.
I've never known you to. I have never known you to make a rash decision. So I don't think you went on Wellbutrin rashly. You were genuinely looking for help. You genuinely were
I wasn't
asking.
really looking for help. I was just amazed at how well that she worked for Dave. And so I just thought maybe she could make me even better. I mean, maybe like the fact that I have a lot of clutter in my house, maybe the Wellbutrin could fix that. But I know,
not to quote Joyce Meyer. Like Joyce Meyer, if I offend anybody, forgive me. she's not my favorite. I haven't listened to her in a really long time.
She's a prosperity preacher.
Well, I am trying to learn to love myself as who I am right now. That doesn't mean that I think I'm perfect or I'm just fine or I'm enough or anything else. No, give yourself some grace. It's going to be okay. Like, I really screwed up this past week. Like, it was so bad. I was so stressed out that I put in for a Friday off, which was yesterday, March the 1st. And I slept in a little bit, and the phone rang, and it was William Byrd High School calling me. I always answer. I'm like, hey, this is Catie, what's up? Because I thought for sure something's wrong. They're like, where are you? I'm like, I'm at home, and I took the day off. No, you didn't. Like, oh, yes, I did. I'm like, let me pull my computer out, because now I'm getting upset. Because I've already been upset because of the I already listed it all. And I had been so overwhelmed by the lockdown the day before and by all the testing that I had gotten to. I had taken April 1st off instead of March the 1st off. I could have lost my job over that.
Really?
I don't know.
No.
But my point is this. I don't know what Joyce Meyer is saying, like, you're enough, all this other stuff. That's a bunch of bullshit. I'm not enough. That's the whole point of Jesus. You're not enough. The point is, you're loved anyway. Sorry, didn't mean to get religious on people. But that...
We've come to expect this.
I guess. But it's...
Unapologetics. That's what I want to call that. Instead of people calling it apologetics, I want religious discussion to be called unapologetics.
Like, Jesus... Sorry, it's happening. I can feel it.
Here it comes!
Jesus either saves or he doesn't. And if you don't need saving, then what's the point? And I'm not talking about salvation from hell. I'm talking about salvation for today. I'm talking about salvation about... I'm scared.
Peace.
I'm scared I lost my fucking job yesterday. I'm scared I'm saying the word fuck.
Yeah, I'm scared that you're whispering the word fuck.
Sorry, I'll say it louder. You know,
yeah.
I just am like, Jesus either saves or he doesn't. And if he doesn't, then I am the greatest fool that ever walked this earth. Seriously. Maybe I am. I don't think so. Because I got to tell you what I have found in Jesus Christ is not a friend, because he's not like your BFF. It's not like my friend Gina here. He's God. But he loved us enough that he died in our place so that we could be with him forever. And you can edit all of that out if you would like.
Why would I do that?
Well, because it is offensive.
Well, people that are offended by it need to actually look at themselves in the mirror and ask why they're offended.
And the truth is like, I am not perfect.
No.
I never will be. I'm not enough. I do the best I can. But I can tell you this. I try to grow day by day. My little Russian Orthodox church, the preacher's always like, Catie, it's about the struggle. He's like, that's literally what it's about. It's about the struggle. Do you want to be with him or not? That's really what it boils down to. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not about politics. It's not about whether you have sex outside of marriage.
Definitely not about politics.
It's not about whether you smoke pot. It's not about whether you have a baby outside of wedlock. All of these things that I was taught were so important matter nothing.
Well,
they matter nothing.
Well, also because, Christianity is really simple. It really doesn't involve a lot of good works. It just involves one thing.
Yes.
And that is you just have to believe. That's really it. And then if you believe, then all of those, then you start to change in how you do things and how you feel about things.
But after 41 years of this, I find myself getting angry that that simplicity is no longer there. At least in my
It's still pretty simple that only a child has to understand. Something it's that simple. It's not that complicated. But it's simple, but it's not easy either.
No.
Like loving your neighbor as yourself. All of those things are extremely difficult. It's very easy to love someone that's kind and loving towards you, but to love everyone equally, or also I think there should be boundaries with people that are unkind to you, of course, but it's difficult.
Well, for example, I went and I wanted to have like a little tea party with you guys today. I mean, you're not here, but I don't know, I got inspired.
Yeah, it's good.
And as I was driving away, there were homeless people, and I could feel it inside my spirit. Should you give them some money? And I couldn't, it was time to go, so I couldn't get to my wallet fast enough, and I couldn't make the decision because I was driving and making a decision at the same time.
And so you didn't.
This time, I've done it before, and I'll probably do it again. And yeah, they might spend it on alcohol and drugs.
Well, that's not
the point.
You don't get to decide what they do with it. You give them the money, the act of giving, and they get to do what they want with it.
Well, and I'm not trying to brag. It's not that. It's just that I feel like I felt the deep-seated compelling of the Holy Spirit. He was telling me, like, he wasn't saying doing it right now for this person, but he was like, this is something I think I want you to start doing. Like, have it ready. Have it ready in your pocket, so you don't have to.
So why is
have a wreck?
So then, why is it that the prosperity preachers, like, how do they justify having so much?
I don't know.
When their congregation has so little, I don't understand that.
I don't pay attention to them.
Okay.
That's why I can't answer it.
Yeah, and I think that's
because
another
it makes
thing.
me angry.
Yeah, it's making me angry, and so I find myself being a damn troll on Instagram. Like I'm wanting to say to, what's his name? Austin?
Joel Osteen.
Joel Osteen. He's completely Botoxed up. Mm-hmm. Completely. And I'm just asked the question, why do you inject your face with Botox? Why
did you actually write it? Did you write it?
Yes, I did.
Did you get a response?
No, of course not.
Okay.
But that's an example of where, and it's probably the Wellbutrin has done something to me, and I need to settle out. But that's what has happened to me, is I'm extremely judgmental to the hypocrites, and I hate it.
I do not believe that you're being judgmental. I believe that, okay, we're going to have to really get into it. Where's my Bible? It's over there. I'm not
anyway,
to get it.
So we loved hanging out with you.
She's not judgmental.
Well, the problem is our camera's about to die, and that's going to be the end of it.
And for all of you out there who are believers, non-believers, seekers, atheists, Hindus, Islamists, Muslims, forgive me. I have not meant to be so
Forgive us.
Brash.
We're not being PC. But that's okay.
But I do love Gina, and I do love all of you, even though I have not met you in person. And I do wish...
Well, you have met a lot of these people in person, actually.
Okay.
Well, just at Vogue, we went to Vogue. You met a lot of people. Well, you've been communicating with people. I have a great relationship with lots of you.
Well, I love it.
That we email back and forth. And
this means a lot to me. And I know we're running out of time, but I want to say this really fast. This means a lot to me. This adds to my life in a way that is really important. And my family is very supportive.
Yay! All right. Well, any last words? Any last parting words? Let me see. Did I talk about everything I wanted to talk about?
I'm a jackass and forgive me.
Risa Tisa. Anybody listening to Risa Tisa? She was the woman that gave like a 50-part series on TikTok about her husband, who was a pathological liar. That was one of the most fascinating things that I have listened to in a while.
All right, well, I'm going to be listening to that.
I don't know. I'll have
fantastic.
to send you a link to YouTube where it's 1 through 50 in a continuous stream, because otherwise, if you watch it on TikTok, you'll have to keep every part 1. You listen to it. It's 10 minutes. Swipe down the next one. You don't want to do that. So I can link the YouTube video below that actually has consolidated it, and so that's a real interesting thing that you would probably discuss with your friends after watching it. It ended up on Forbes, New York Times.
Cool.
It went like super viral. Like things go viral. This went international, super viral. So That's it. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. So
the only thing I want to say is I want you all to encourage Gina to go natural with her, because
with the gray.
With the gray, she's considering going natural. And
well, that's another thing. I don't want anything. I'm just, for some reason, I don't want to get a facelift. I don't want to, I don't even really want to do my nails anymore because of all the chemicals. I've changed.
Let me tell you something. She's changed.
I've changed.
Let's just leave it at that.
But I don't know. There's some aspects of my personality that are not better. But I have to work through this.
Don't worry.
I can work through it.
But folks, she's changed. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
And
Love you guys.
Cut that out too.
And we'll see. I'm not cutting anything out. Okay.
Love you.
Love you. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.